What's going on, everybody? We're back with another Blue Protocol video. I'll be making guide videos on every single dungeon in the game for hard mode due to the normal mode being dummied down with the majority of the same mechanics just simplified. Quick reminder, you can purchase up to 10 cheer up treats per week in the orb store weekly shop, which allows you to get 3 times drops in all the dungeons. Now with all of that out of the way, let's start with the lead up into the boss room. Everything is straightforward. A quick tip is just not to pull too many mobs while you're clearing the rooms due to at the start, everyone is around the gear score level for the dungeon and the supports won't have enough juice to keep everyone alive if the mob pulls become excessive. To start off, Tina will mark a random player with a purple mark over their heads. A interaction prompt for void corruption transfer will appear right above your meter bar if you are next to a player. This only applies to the player who has been marked. In this run, you can see another player was marked and instantly passed me the mark. The correct way for this mechanic is to keep an eye out at the bottom left timer of your skills, which will indicate when the mark should be passed. The fact that the other player passed me the mark instantly allowed me to continue the gimmick as follows. At around 9 to 10 seconds remaining on the timer, the mark should be passed to the tank in the group. Ideally, your tank should be in an isolated area for the mark to be passed efficiently. The reason why the tank should receive the mark is due to Tina's follow-up attack. She will root the player in place and unleash an attack that only tank players can sustain. This mechanic will happen multiple times during the fight. However, if the mark pass isn't going efficient and a non-tank player gets rooted, there is a workaround it: iframing. As I mentioned in my Goblin's Nest guide, iframing is very important. Classes like Stormblade have a parry in their kit that can also be substituted for ult iframing. If you end up getting rooted, turn around and time the line increasing with the edge of the attack. You can continue DPSing while rooted for greed damage, but just be careful not to be animation locked when it's time to press ult. Being stingy with your ult in this dungeon can be a big gain opposed from using your ultimate for damage. Moving over to Tina's second mechanic, Tina will portal in the center and scream having a purple shield around her. She will summon 3 clones on random edges of the map. The correct way to do this mechanic is for everyone to look for the clone that's already facing and moving towards the center and destroy that clone first. Only 1 out of 3 will be facing towards the center in the beginning. After that clone is destroyed, a second clone will start moving and that one should be destroyed next. Then the party cleans up the last clone to stop any of the clones reaching Tina in the center. This is also a great phase to use your Phantom Dash skill to reach a clone as quickly as possible. After the mechanic is done, Tina will jump in the air and slam down with an AoE attack. Your support should DR or shield everyone in the party to sustain the damage. Keep in mind, this is the proper way of doing the mechanic, which in hard mode, depending on the party's gear score, this mechanic can be done not in order. But on gear level, or even when master mode unlocks, doing it the proper way will result in wipes or clears. The third mechanic, Tina will scream and have purple aura bursting out of her. During this, she will be DR and it's best not to invest skills to stay off cooldown. Shortly after, Tina will TP everyone and will become a giant. 4 doors will spawn on 4 sides of the map. You will need to look at Tina directly and move to the right of her, indicating the correct door to take. She will start her spear attack moving from left to right, swiping the map, and once the spear is close to the right side, you will interact with the door and it will teleport you to safety. This happens 2 times. Be aware of red AoE that spawns to avoid wiping and or teleporting too early or too late. This happens multiple times in the fight depending on the damage. That concludes all the major mechanics for the Tina dungeon. Let's talk about patterns and attacks. The first attack to be aware about, Tina will mark a player with a red AoE. Everyone should stack together to evenly spread out the damage for the incoming damage. Like every boss dungeon, Tina will glow red charging up an attack. These attacks are amazing to perfect dodge due to them stunning the boss for a couple seconds. If the perfect dodge counter is successful, you will hear this indicated sound to give confirmation. After clone mech, Tina will start a red cone phase. 2 areas opposite of each other will be safe zones opposed from everything else being hit with damage. For this phase, you can either play the safe zones and rotate accordingly, or you can stay in the pocket and dodge at the perfect time to continue doing damage. Like every red line attack that moves to the edge, dodging when the line is about to touch the edge will show you the time and when to dodge. So moving your camera to see the line when you're DPSing is a good way to keep an eye on that. The last major attack, Tina will mark every single player with a huge red AoE, pulling everyone close to her. Everyone should move to the edges of the arena to avoid stacking these slashes with one another. This attack does a huge amount of damage, so spreading out is really important. This is also another perfect opportunity to use your Phantom Step to be able to make it to the edge on time. The default key is E. But also, this attack can be iframed. Once again, saving your ultimate can provide a better DPS window for greeting and staying up in the fight. For this attack, timing will be important and getting familiar with how long it takes for her to throw out the first slash to use your ultimate. I will be making a guide for every single dungeon in the game on the global CBT. That'll be it for this video. Catch you guys next time.